This is Max. I love him. I'm gonna film right here. Why I switched to PC. Just before I begin, I just want to say I'm making this video because listening to other people's experiences helped me make my decision in what laptop I wanted to buy next. This isn't supposed to be malicious towards Apple or anything of that sort. And this video will be talking more about the reasons why I decided to move over to PC and less so the actual specs and all the little technical stuff about it. I've been a loyal Apple fan all my life, so in grade 4 was when I got my iPod Nano, and then I got my iPod Touch Generation 3, and then I got an iPod Classic, and then with the iPhones I've gotten the 5, the 5C, the 6, and then I went back down to the SE, which is what I'm on right now. It's kind of falling apart now. About 4 years ago, that's when I got my first Apple laptop. So I got the MacBook Pro late 2015 with Retina display, and this was about 1,300 Canadian dollars. So it had 8 gigabytes of RAM, about 120 gigabytes of storage, and an i5 core processor. In my first 2 years of university, I was making smaller projects, so my videos would be around 2 to 3 minutes long, and we would be shooting in 720 to 1080p at different frame rates, so 24, 30, 60 frames per second. And then in my third and fourth year, that's when I started shooting at 4K and 1080. We just completely scrapped 720. And we're doing 24, 30, and 60 again, frames per second. But a lot of slow-mo stuff and obviously a lot more intricate stuff. But by the time that we were shooting at 4K, my laptop was really struggling to hold all that footage, and then also just literally scrub through the 4K footage. To make an assembly, it would be playing my laptop would be doing the robot. It just it would be so choppy with all of the scrubbing. So my chosen grad gift was a PC laptop. After graduation, I also decided that I want to make it a project to build a desktop. So switching over systems would make the most sense after graduation, so I wouldn't have to do it later down the road. On top of that, I edit my videos on Adobe Premiere Pro. So if I edited on Final Cut Pro, that would make more sense for me to be on the Apple Mac OS system. Well, obviously because Final Cut Pro only sits there. But that was also part of the reason why I switched over. And then gaming isn't very accessible on Mac computers, and I miss my gaming a lot, so that also played into it. So now I currently own a Dell XPS 159570 with 4K display, which is really cool. It has 1 terabyte of storage, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and an i7 processor, and that sits at around $2,800 Canadian. I did research, and if I bought that on the Apple MacBook Pro 2019, it would come out to around... I made a mistake, and I accidentally converted what was already the Canadian price for the MacBook Pro, so here's a video of me tracing my steps, making sure I get the accurate information for all of you lovely folk, and the final answer here is 4,400 Canadian. So that is a huge jump. Another thing about PC is that you have multiple manufacturers, meaning two things. One, you get competitive prices because there's multiple places trying to sell PC laptops and computers and such, and so they are trying to get the lowest price for their customers. The second thing about that is that you can buy multiple different little parts of your laptop or your desktop, so that means you can upgrade for a cheaper price. I could technically... I'm moving this a lot, I'm so sorry. I could technically, take a 2 terabyte storage, I don't know what it's called, a storage card, and I can upgrade my laptop from 1 terabyte to 2 terabytes for cheaper. So if you want to compare this to Apple, Apple is the only place or manufacturer or company that sells MacBook Pros or really any Apple product, meaning that there is no competitive edge and they can really place their prices anywhere that they want to. And then on top of that, you can't buy parts of MacBook Pros or really any Apple product. You have to go to Apple in order to either, fix up your product. So if something happens, you can't go in and take out the part that's broken and then put in another part in. You have to go to Apple Care. And then you also can't upgrade as you would wish. I wouldn't be able to change the storage on my MacBook Pro. I'm pretty sure there's a video of someone online or someone wrote an article, I think, of them trying to open up their MacBook and they like completely just obliterated it. So there's no option whatsoever to try to upgrade it unless you are literally buying another MacBook. That being said, there is absolutely nothing like the Mac OS system, and, you know, there are some days where I still miss it, and I will not, like, lie about that or anything. You know, the system is just so fluid, and when it comes to, like, viruses and such, I never got a virus within the 4 years that I had my MacBook Pro, and that is, like, really cool that they can have, like, a more, I guess, secure system in that sort of sense, whereas, obviously, PC and Windows, you're a lot more prone to viruses. And then also what's really cool about the Mac OS system is that it is a lot more intuitive, especially for individuals who might not be as tech savvy. So if you know how to work like a MacBook Pro, you know, some of the icons are just like so intuitive in the sense that you can switch over to like an Apple phone, and it's pretty simple to move through all the products of Apple in that sense. So my MacBook still has a great amount of value, but the reality is that I've just outgrown it. So at the end of the day, PC allows me to customize my needs more efficiently for less, and that's why I decided to go over to PC. Everyone's gonna have different needs, and I highly recommend that you end up buying what you need for your needs. Thanks so much for watching this video, everyone. If you are buying a new laptop or computer, whatever you buy, both PC and Mac have wonderful things to offer, and I'm sure you're gonna do a great job with buying that. I make videos every Thursday, so make sure to give a thumbs up and a subscribe if you do want to see more, and I will see you next week here. Bye! That was also part of the reason why I switched over.
001.
Hi! I gotta show this because this is so funny. Dun, 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 dun,
Project
dun,
X!
dun, 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 dun.